Okay. Yerk.
Oh, I forgot to actually do my Button Clanger's effect. Not that it would have mattered, because I wanted to keep this, so.
I'm going to pay 2 for the Bramblewood Paragon.
Okay.
So now my Elf Warrior creature tokens all have trample again.
Which is game. Damn it!
Swinging for 8 with trample.
Alright. Yeah, it is 8. Okay, so I'm going to have my Brightheart Banneret block your one with the equipment, and my Mudbug Clanger block one of the ones that does not. So I still take 6.
Alright, now the match is over. Do you want to go to extra game? Because that was a really quick series.
Not really. I got to show off most. The only thing that I really didn't get to show off, is how amazing these discounts actually are. Because these discounts are really fucking cool. And there is one other thing that I want to show off in my deck that I want to show off that I can show off without actually going going into an extra game.
Okay.
All right, so the reason why I like this set is because a lot of the tribal cross synergy, specifically with the bannerets, make it so that you have a lot of different options to go for. I forget the white one's Kithkin, but what's the elf one? Is the elf one a green?
Most of the elves in this set are green colored. Yes.
Okay. But I was wondering what the banneret for the elves is. Like, what are the two? What are the two?
There is no elf banneret actually. The only banneret, I'm not even running the banneret for this set. For my colors actually, it's the one that gives you discounts for tree folk and shaman type creatures. Tree folk and shaman
that
type
is the
creatures.
green one though, right?
It is the green one.
Okay.
Yes. Here's a bunch of other green stuff. Marilyn is not green, but she's fucking broken as hell.
I showed off
what
these
else?
fortune. The other thing that I wanted to show off. Did I take out? No. It is. It's this one. Notorious Throng. I did actually get to I did actually get to show this off in a clash, but I didn't get to show off how broken this damn thing is. You see, Notorious Throng allows me to get additional turns and then kill my opponent with that additional turn, thanks to the fact that a majority of the rogues in the deck are also fairies that are flying.
Right.
And the fact that the changelings count themselves as rogues means that I have some relatively good defensive options as well, especially this fucking Taurian Mauler. I honestly wanted to get in the Taurian Mauler each game because... any time that I've got it on the field, I pretty much put an increase in clock on my opponent. The damn thing is nuts. But yeah, I wanted to show off that stacking the Brightheart Banneret or the bannerets in general is just absolutely absurd with the top end that we get in the game, because this Supreme Exemplar is a 10/10 flyer, and with a single banneret out, it actually only costs 6. The problem with a lot of the top ends is that you have to champion the tribe member that they're with. And champion is an interesting keyword. It's just not all that effective because it puts an additional cost on the creatures that you're playing. It's not terrible. It's an interesting cost dynamic. But there are other really powerful stuff in here too. The Giants package that's here, although it's relatively limited, is really fucking cool. There's the 4-drop 8/8 that allows your opponent to bring out any creature from their deck, and I'm like, oh man, that was super tempting to run, but I'm like, you told me a couple days ago that you were going to be you told me as we were scouting this set rather that you wanted to run Golgari Elves, and I'm like, I don't want him to bring out anything bigger than the Giant, and there's stuff in this set that's bigger than that Giant, so.
Well, I mean, Walker of the Grove is a close second, but I don't think you would want to just let your opponent have a 7/7 because it all but negates your 8/8 drop.
Yeah, especially since I don't think that he actually has trample, so.
The Walker of the Grove indeed does not have trample. Neither does the 4-drop 8/8 Giant.
Yeah.
In general, you should not give your opponent advantages in exchange for having a really powerful creature out.
Yeah. I like a lot of the individual cards in this set. I really do. I think Shared Animosity is a great goddamn aggro card. I really wish that the elemental stuff wasn't all top end in this set, because a lot of the elemental stuff has got really awesome artwork. Like the Brightheart Banneret is a member of the Elemental Warrior tribe that is got the Flamekin Brawler in it that's got fire breathing on it. It's fucking nuts. There are a lot of really cool individual cards in this set, and they honestly do work together relatively well. It's just that, this set also is notorious. This set might honestly be notorious for giving us a lot of the green-black elf stuff. I knew going into this that elves was going to be the deck to beat, because elves is always one of the better decks. They don't really pay anything for their average stats. They get a lot of really interesting recursive synergies that assuming that you actually are able to keep a decent board state, they just steamroll from there.
Right, like the one we had just gone over in this very latest game. Just one example. The Bramblewood Paragon and Hunting Triad combo is really effective. It is especially effective if you can get it off on turn 3 if you're running the Blightsoil Druid, or hell, even Elvish Mystic or Llanowar Elves in the other sets, Magic Masters and so on, that you get that synergy really quickly, make a 2+2 = 6 situation early on, put your opponent in an uncomfortable situation early game, and then force them to... you might force them into a defensive state, which ultimately will spell doom for them.
Did you actually look into any of the Clash stuff for your colors?
No, I didn't run any Clash in my deck.
Oh, the Clash stuff is fun, though.
It is fun. That, it's, what it does is, it's called Clash in this game. It's actually paying homage to the classic card game War.
Yeah,
say
it's very much War. So.
1, 2, 3, War. That's cool.
But yeah, I wanted to show off Notorious Throne because this Prowl trigger is fucking nuts. If I actually manage to build up to 6 mana and hit you with either Dewdrop Spry or Thorium Mauler or Warstrike Changeling and cast Notorious Throne, that's game.
Yeah, and if you have another one waiting in your hand, that also is game, pretty much, because, I don't have terribly many answers to flying. I do have creatures with reach. I have creatures that basically can answer flyers, but only with sorcery speed. So if you did, yes, I agree that Notorious Throng would have been a pretty predictable win condition for you again in this matchup.
Yeah. Like, just imagine if I managed to get a Brightheart Banneret into Supreme Exemplar into Notorious Throng. I get to deal 30 damage off of 2 turns. It's fucking nuts.
Yep. Exactly.
I'm also running a copy of Mindspring. I really like Mindspring. I know it's not the most effective draw spell, but the ability to change how much you're getting off of it for relatively cheap, I know it's not super cheap, but it's relatively cheap, is honestly really cool to me. Each of the colors actually gets a version of Mindspring technically. Black's is discard. I think White's is life gain, which is terrible. I think Red actually gets what is effectively a reprint of Fireball, but...
So I noticed that of the legendaries in this set, Marilyn of the Mornsong did not get a replay, probably because she very quickly got banned as of this set, I'm sure, because of her ability to just pull cards from your deck at will at a meager cost of losing only 3 life at the beginning of the draw step.
I don't know about that.
Her only disadvantage.
Any other big combos that you want to do a forecast in your deck, Mr. Cloud?
Well, the Door of Destinies was like it's a decent replacement for Coat of Arms, which was not in this set, thankfully, because Coat of Arms would have made very silly, very quickly, all of the cards that share creature types with each other.
Door of Destinies is technically just a push version of Coat of Arms, isn't it? Or Hall of Legends?
You can... I mean, the reason why it's converted mana cost 4 instead of 5 is that you need that additional turn in order to set up the Door of Destinies, because you can't get +1/+1 even until you play spells
Your
of the
second
type you
spell,
declare.
but by the time that you're casting that second spell, that's +2/+2 on all creatures of that type, and on elf weenies, that's an additional 3 fucking damage all across the board.
Weenies. I agree. Weenies.
But yeah, I like this set, to be perfectly honest. I didn't play it that well, but the changeling cards that are here are really cool to play with. The tribal mixing is really interesting to build around. I really like seeing Mutavault here. Mutavault is really fucking cool. I noticed that you're running a copy of Escape Shift. What was the big combo with that?
Oh, it's just insurance. Because if I, let's say for example, I needed like more greens or I needed more blacks, and I could just switch it out while also thinning my deck at the same time. I like deck thinning. I mean, I think it's a valid move at pretty much any step of the game, because it improves the probability that the very next card you draw could be the one that wins you the game. And we have had heart of the card moments on.
No, we almost had one here where I got to actually use Titan's Revenge. Haha.
Aha. Yes.
I really like Titan's Revenge. This is a card that I honestly want to run a bit more, like in modern something or other. Thing is, it's really expensive to get high damage values out on it, so that's its big. Titan's Revenge is the version of Mindspring that I'm thinking is the color swap for Mindspring. It just has more text on it.
Gotcha.
All right, so this has been us exploring Morningtide. I like this set. How about you, Mr. Cloud?
I mean, I like this set too. I like the kind of like Lord of the Rings style setting for the cards. A lot of the really nostalgic artwork, and I'm glad that a lot of these cards enjoyed reprints, because these cards are recognizably powerful. I think some of them are too powerful, and they should just stay where they belong, in antiquity.
All right, then, everyone. This has been us exploring Morningtide. Tune in next time for when it is my turn to pick out a set. And no, since we're done with, since we finally finished the Kamigawa block, we're not going to be doing anything for Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. At least nothing special specifically. Although, all right, be safe, everybody.
Bye-bye, everyone.